Hello, my dear Capricorn. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between October 16 and October 31st, 2017, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I used the Mary L Tarot with Mary White, and I have already shuffled and chosen your cards. So this is my shorter mid-month reading, and I will come back with a longer 15-card spread for the beginning of November readings, when I also use a smaller deck as well. I will change Legacy of the Divine Tarot, which I'm using for the longer readings, as soon as I find a worthy replacement. So I will just tune in for a few seconds to your reading, and then we will continue. So, okay, my dear Capricorn, this is your past, so it will be probably September, beginning of October. And here we have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is a card about truth and honesty that comes from the heart. So it's talking about realizing things, seeing the truth of things, also realizing what you yourself feel in for a certain situation or a certain someone. And it's about healing. It's about finding out more so you can kind of heal more. It's getting the knowledge and seeing, connecting the dots so you can finally see the bigger picture. Here on the picture we can see an angel guiding two small children, and also a dog that might be worried from protecting these children. So a different archetype within you, kind of your soul and your inner children, and the dog, I feel, is an entity inside of you that wants to take responsibility but might be a little bit worn out, maybe stressed out even from trying to do the right thing, trying to choose the right thing, and trying to protect yourself against the right people and in the right kind of situations. So Six of Swords is self-realization, seeing more and more of the picture every day, like your life's journey, how it's expanding, how you can, it's like having a map that's everything is totally in darkness, and when you're starting to travel through your life, that map will start to shine up as you go. So it's traditionally it's going over an ocean, and that ocean is your feelings, but here the ocean is instead symbolized by the children that's very fragile and have kind of the ocean inside of them, all these emotions. Okay, so the next card here is the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups comes upside down. So when the Nine of Cups comes upside down, it might have to do with overindulgence, jealousy, or maybe you have wished for something and you got it and you're not satisfied with what you got. Or it might also have been that you wished for something that you wanted, but you actually got something instead that you needed. Sometimes with troublesome lovers or problematic situation, they might have a lot to teach you, giving you the gift of Six of Swords. So it might also be that you need to focus a little bit more on actually envisioning what you do want. Nine of Cups is it is seeing what would actually fulfill your needs, what would actually make you happy, what will make you in contact with your soul. This monkey here, it's a baboon. It's probably supposed to depict kind of Thoth, the wisdom god, and it has the Ankh cross, showing actually a fertile condition, like depicting the uterus here, the Stargate. We have also a Scorpio in the picture. You might deal with a Scorpio in your life that might have left maybe to go on a soul search, finding themselves, and Nine of Cups usually says that you have the relationship that you are supposed to be in, or you are going to get a wish granted, or many wishes granted. It's like the law of attraction. Your wishes might command everything you ask for. You will get. But sometimes we are asking about contradiction things. We might want to be in a situation, but we can't really endure it. Or we love a person, but we can't stand them. So it might be things like this going on. It was some of the other signs that's also got this Nine of Cups in reversed. I don't remember which one. And here we have the Empress. So the Empress is an overflow of things. So it might be that someone has a hard time making up their mind about a person that's very important for them in their life. One day they want to leave and find out the truth and be free from any illusions about this relationship, and strengthen up your relationship with yourself and forget about all this. And the other day, this is the only person that you can think of, like they made you feel like you really had something that was worth having. But the Empress here is also talking about this with a ankh cross. This is fertility. So it might be that someone is going through a like maturity phase. Maybe they have enough taking care of themselves and they don't want to have children or get pregnant or get someone else pregnant. So that might be an issue, that you might feel like a child yourself, so you're not ready to take on anyone else that's also a child. And the Empress is it's, as I said, a very fertile situation, and we can see this is a very comfortable readiness for her to be in this state and have this child and doing this harvest. And also she has a kind of a symbol for love there with the rose, but also with the rose having its thorn. So I feel like a calmness from these cards together. For some of you, you will have a situation where you might have left a troublesome relationship, but you haven't left the love for this person behind. You still love them, and for many of you, you will be okay with it. You don't have to have it. You don't have to have your dreams come true right now. And if you are in the other end of the rope, like feeling anxiety, like I can't love this person if I can't be with them, what might be advised is that you calm down. And as long as the feelings are there for a certain someone, the feelings are there. You don't have to cut cords with them like on that level. You might still have a connection through dreams and other things. It doesn't have to mean anything in our third dimension world. It just means that you are still connected on a soul level. So let it be as it is. If you have that kind of situation, don't try to end your feelings for a person just because the relationship has ended. Maybe you're supposed to save that love for another day, or maybe it's that your heart is growing bigger with any new relationship instead. Maybe it's going to be a new way, like the love that you might have for children. It doesn't go away because you get another children. The heart only grows bigger. And it's the same with life experience. Just because you have a new kind of life experience, you don't forget where you came from. So expanding, and also this love that you have for other people that's not your children can also expand, and you don't have to erase the memory of someone that you really loved, like they were dead. For others of you, it might be that you had a dream, but you're deciding to be content with whatever you have, like the everyday mundane chores of life, being more here and now, enjoying like the small things in life. And maybe it's more time of healing than reaching for the stars for your dreams. Maybe there's a time of a little bit of pause where you are actually concentrating on healing yourself instead of trying to work on some kind of creative projects, with the Empress also represent. But with the Nine of Cups upside down, it might be that you're waiting maybe for the right time, or you're just enjoying life for a while. Maybe everything doesn't have to be work, or get like trying to get to where you want to be. It's more like enjoying here and now. And for others of you, there might be two energies here, like one person being okay with the situation and the other one not being okay with the situation. So there can be two energies here that doesn't really level. So maybe you are okay with something in your relationship and the other person is not. So that was the past, and this is in the now. And here we also have the Nine of Wands upside down. In the other reading, we had the Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles upside down. And the Nine of Pentacles is actually one card that's connected to Capricorn. So I wish I had a better memory of my readings, but I do this reading from it's almost from a dream state, and I just remember them as a dream when I kind of wake up. So it's usually I'm not really with you when you're talking about the reading. I have forgotten the most of it, so I need to look at it again to refresh my memory. Probably was some of the readings I did yesterday, Aquarius, Cancer, Scorpio, or Aries, but I'm not sure. The Nine of Wands, anyway, it's picking up your strength from the depths of you, kind of defending yourself, putting boundaries, protecting what's really worth something. Traditionally, Nine of Wands is a person that has been hurt and therefore are in a kind of defensive mood, sometimes missing opportunities because they are too scared, and they can't trust other people, and they become very cold and detached and strong and keeping people on an arm's length, and thereby they are kind of doing the same thing to others that were once done to them to make them this trusting. But here you have it again, upside down. Many of you are kind of giving up your dreams and also giving up what you have been fighting for, and it doesn't feel like it's really a bad thing. Not for right now. You can pick this up later, because I think that it is like you are letting go of control a little bit, and that is very good. That's very, very healthy. You kind of acknowledge whatever is in your life, and you don't need to control everything. I know that Capricorn wants to be in control. You are the one organizing our lives and getting the work done, but it might be that you have grown. You don't have to be just this personality that you were born with, or the essence of your sign. As I said, you can expand your view always, and this is why we are here. We can be a Capricorn when we are born, but we can expand and be a Capricorn and something else when we are leaving this place. So I think you actually have taken in some new knowledge that has made you letting go a little bit of control. You don't have to control every step. You don't have to control that the divine is getting you the right thing, that exactly the thing that you asked for. It's like whatever comes is fine. So we will see what the center card says. The center card is usually very important. And here we have the King of Wands upside down. I had a lot of fire card upside down also for Virgo. So it might be something going on with the earth signs, that maybe you have a need of letting go of control because you have been too well organizing the material world, and it has maybe left you a little bit drained on an energetic level. So what I'm seeing is you, maybe you have been like a raging firestorm, and you're kind of leveling out and becoming like a blank puddle of water instead. So it's some kind of transformation going on within you. You can take the emotional road to spiritual awakening. You can also take the fiery road. And it's, I heard a wonderful analogy the other day where the person that went the emotional road through water were sticking out their face through the fire in the stove. And the person that went on the fiery spiritual journey, they sticked out their head up from the riverbed, out from the water. So wherever you go, you will still come to the same kind of end result. It's always, everything is intertwined like this. So you might have been like a raging firestorm trying to control everything in your life, but it's something colder and cooler and smoother and more harmonious underneath the surface that's actually balance you up and help you to not burn your candle in both ends. For some of you, you might have lost a fire sign in your life, not wanting to be there. For some reason, you don't want them there. And this might have been what triggered all this with letting go of control. Maybe someone let go of you or you let go of someone. But anyway, for both of you, this with letting go, like losing each other, wasn't the point. The point was to let go of control. And I think you are on the brink of success here with what I'm feeling, the energy from the Six of Swords and the Empress. So it's, yeah, giving up control is the best way to describe this. And here we have an Ace of Discs, and it's upright, so it's kind of a new beginning for you. You can build things with less anxiety. You can build things with less like anticipation to reach your goal than it needs to be now. And this is the Empress. That's a very fertile card, and the Ace of Discs is kind of the egg. So this is very fertile. It's bringing forward something new, but it doesn't have the quality of fire so much, even though we have this orange here. She is creating, but in stillness. See, she's creating from her natural self. Instead of trying to be what the world wants her to be, she's being what she already is. Very natural. It's like the grass that grows by its own accord, or the apple here. She just have picked them from the trees. She didn't have to run around and make the apples, and they were ready for her to pick. So it's another way of doing things, like more in tune with nature, not so very human-like or squirrel-like. I'm seeing the picture in front of my eyes with a squirrel running around in the wheel like this, and yes, it needs to be useful. It needs to do something. This is more going into stillness, going into the center of you, this uterus. Even if you don't have a uterus, so still your center of creation that's pointed somewhere underneath the navel. So, and in this picture, it might be like a little bit of above. So, and you see that it's very feminine, but it's also masculine in the same time. It's both the egg and the sperm, so it's fertilized. It seems like this is handling itself by itself. And for those of you that, as I said, don't want to get pregnant during this time, it's very good to have some kind of precaution with this. So it's very fruitful, but it just means that things comes without you having to fight so hard for it. You can give up some of this strife that you have been doing with all your body so tense, and you wanted to have this, and if you didn't have this your life was not worth living, kind of. And now you're going more to this calm, like doing things in a very mindful way, like whatever you do, you feel your body inside, and you're not bored by these everyday tasks. You are finding life's meaning in just being inside yourself, like enjoying just being you, enjoying just being inside of this body. And you can't do that before you have done some significant healing. So it might be that Capricorn has gone through some significant healing that made you give up this hard strife and this anxiety and this anticipation for whatever will come the next day, you start to realize that the now is always here and now. The next day, when it comes, it will be like the here and now. People can wait their whole life for their actual life to begin, because they forget about this moment that you have. The only thing that you have is your own awareness, and your own awareness is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not in the past what you have been living through. But many of you have come to this conclusion by being like rolled in this wheel of fortune, this life karmic cycle, like a washing machine. You have been thrown around like this until you finally gave up this control of this movement and just started to enjoy the ride, like whatever happens, happens. So for many of you, you might have been dragged down this hole by maybe not having the best health, so you can't do things in the running in the wheel kind of way anymore. So that might be how life helps you to give up this energetic way of doing things and being more like, well, whatever happens, happens. I can't do anything about it because I'm disabled in some way, maybe heavily pregnant or injured in some way because you were in too much of a hurry. So, and it's this contradiction between being like in a so fiery hurry that you don't remember to breathe, and the other is very still and stoic. So it might be two different energies as well, and you need to find out which one are you, because the one here with the water fire, it's like they're coming head first into something that might not, like when you fall you might hit hard. So this is the kind of the whispers of the tower that's just saying, slow down, become more mindful, see what you're doing, so you're not hurting yourself. And if you start to happen things that's a little bit challenging, like a little bit of accidents, you need to be very mindful, because this is the tower when it whispers to you. When it's becoming bigger accidents or bigger happenings, you wished that you would have listened sooner. So many of you need to cut down your pace. Okay, so that is in the now, the Nine of Wands, the King of Wands upside down, and the Ace of Discs. So whatever is upside down in your life, it's there, it's for the best. There's going to be a new start, something that's not as, it's not requiring as much like work from your end. It's going to come more natural, more like just breathing or like heartbeat. You don't have to work so hard to get it. So it's more in tune with the divine and Mother Nature. And here we have the Star card. So again, you are very guided to all this. It's a lot with kind of letting go of this anxiety of being hurt and distrust and everything what's going on with the Nine of Wands, but yet still being strong, because the 17, the star, 1 + 7 is 8, is connected to the Strength card. And we see this is the divine being and this is an angel. And here it's much looking like the Strength card as well, but it's upside down. So don't use your strength to destroy your world. You can be strong, but a little bit more stoic. Like instead of saying, well, I hate you and I never want to see your face again, you can say, I'm really tired of this, what we are doing right now, and I need a break. Okay, so that's the difference between burning a bridge and just putting a boundary that's more calm. Okay, so it might be that some of you have learned a new skill also by saying no, and you might be a little bit too hasty with it, like burning everything instead of using it like it's like this, and I'm laughing, but because I'm not very good in following this always myself. I'm also learning together with you, and it's this with when you have a problem with a person, to be like not not because you want to hurt their feelings, but because you want to save the relationship. You should really tell them what they are doing wrong while you're still in the relationship, instead of just getting tired of them, like trying to endure what they are doing and then just leaving when you get tired. So being more frank with people, like this, what you're doing is annoying, or I don't feel loved when you're doing like this. Can you please change this? Usually we don't want to change people. We want to let them be whatever that is. But if we are hurting ourselves on them or what they are doing, we want to separate ourselves from them. But here it's like you have learned this with the strength to maybe separate. But what you really should learn is to start saying what it is that's really a problem for you, instead of just, giving 3 chances and then be out of the door. Okay, so the Star card, being divinely guided into the future here, Capricorn. And the next card is Ace of Cups upside down. So this is what I just was talking about. You don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. Just because you have learned to become strong and protect yourself better against people that might have been very problematic. Maybe you love them very much, because we have both the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So it might be like a soulmate in your life that you have given up on because you wanted to protect yourself, and you had just learned this, so you might have burned bridges with them, or just throw out the baby with the bathwater. What I was saying. The Nine of Cups here, it's almost like this monkey is in a birth position as well, and this uterus is very defined, and here we have the Ace of Cups that's also is connected to children or babies. And we also see that this is again it looks like almost a little bit of masculine or androgen face, and a male upper body with the arms, but breasts, and then also glimpsing like male attributes here down in the red garment. So it's not just for girls. It's what it wants to say, this with birthing forward. And if you have like something that was really valuable to you in your life, you might regret if you throw it out. And it's the angel here again. You might have thrown out an angel from your life, or they might have thrown out you because they were putting some kind of boundary, and that's not much you can do against that. So that's might be why you're so calm, like, okay, let them have their their uproar, see what they come forward with. Maybe they are burning the world right now, but one day they will maybe remember the love that we had and return. So for some of you earthbound people, you might be very relaxed in this situation, like it's nothing I can do anyway, let them have their rampage, let them so it's like a person, it's a king, so usually they are very skilled with fire, but it's anyway feeling like a person that's doing something. Maybe they are doing, for many people it might be that they have pushed away their shadow. They have pushed away something like their strength into their shadow. And when they have recently taken it up, they are still very skilled with this use. Like they remember when they were fiery creatures and ruled the world maybe. And now when they are taking this skill up again, it will still be roaring and ruling and decisive and destroying. So it might be a little bit rough before they have learned how to handle this energy again. Okay, but the star is leading you through this with the thrown out project. And the next card is the Seven of Swords. So it comes from the Six of Swords through the King of Wands and to the Seven of Swords. So it might be that someone has been forced to do something that they didn't really want to do because they thought that this was the most intelligent and thing to do. Like they were waking up from some kind of illusion, and they decided like this love affair is not healthy, so I will end it. But it wasn't really the truth. What they really wanted, if they had been connected like with head and heart, it's like they saw maybe the devil in the face, like the black crow that's talking about like the awful things that might happen. It's always like this warning signal, and the person with the Nine of Wands is usually already rather protective, and if they hear rumors about things are going to go wrong, they are going to go crazy protective. So it might be that someone woke up here from an illusion, and you might have been in a difficult situation in a love relationship, in a work relationship, family, whatever, and you felt like you needed to do the most logic thing. It might be like a partner to you that also felt this, or someone that you have this situation together with, and they felt like the most logic thing was to rip the relationship apart. But in the bottom of it all, it's still a lie. They found a truth, but it was not the ultimate truth. They find one side of the truth, but it wasn't the whole truth. So here the black and white together, trying to, like, through argument and disagreements and not seeing eye to eye. Actually, they do see eye to eye almost, but they have their eyes on the side, so it's a problem. So through this, they are getting complete knowledge. So some of you are dealing with a person that's your soulmate, but they are not contributing to the relationship. They are not helping. They are not acknowledging, yes, I'm your soulmate. They are more like, well, I don't care. So that's problematic when people don't know themselves enough, so they are lying to themselves, kind of. So it seems like you have the star here on your side, but this is a little bit of rough patch on your path here. So it might feel very confusing. On one hand, you might still love a person. On the other hand, they don't do their fair share of work in the relationship and don't acknowledge even the connection between you two. We don't have the Empress and the Emperor, but we have the soulmate person and the one that the world circulates around. So it's a little bit like you have almost acknowledged to each other that the other person is the one, but it's like one step away from the truth. The lie is still there. It's not going to change anytime soon. What you can do is to start with yourself and see wherever you are lying for yourself, to protect yourself most. Like, you don't want to see really the truth. You would rather feel like, no, I don't care anymore. I'm so over that, but it might not be the truth. So why are you supposed to do this? It's supposed to keep things like honest, keep it real. Because if you keep things real, you're able to see things from an above perspective and be much more like in tune with what it is that the divine wants you to do in this situation. So I will take a card for the upside down nines for Capricorn. What is this? Like a clarification for the upside down nines. So it's someone that has left the cage. And as I said, it might have been like, well, in this stage, it might be that you need to leave a troublesome relationship or situation. It doesn't matter if you throw this project out the door. It might be exactly what was supposed to happen, because you can't learn to run. You need to learn to crawl first. So you can't do everything perfect. And it might be that just this experience of not doing it perfect, but actually sacrificing something that you later on going to want to have back, was a part of this experience that you were supposed to make. But for many of you, this with the nine of nines upside down, it's like leaving the golden cage. It was very, it gave some advantage to be there, but it also gave you a little bit of hell on earth, or limited your freedom, or maybe you were not able to be yourself. Maybe you needed to act like you were someone else to be accepted or loved. But it's peace dove here. So I don't feel that this might be entirely over. There might be more chapters in this book. Maybe this is just somewhere here, the the point of like the trauma point happened in the book, like the big thing that was going to happen in this book, like the big event, but there's going to be a continuation. You can't stop reading the book just now. So also for the upside down King of Wands, what can we give for more advice to? Creative explosion. So King of Wands is a creative explosion, but he's upside down. So it might be this with like overdoing things, getting too much creative explosion. So you're actually almost on the brink of self-combusting. It is time to release and set free your creative vibration. Whatever you choose to experience is appropriate and well-timed. It is part of the quest you are encountering and engaging with at this moment in your life. Open this up and watch as your world explodes in front of your eyes, bringing forth an amazing transformation. It's also giving another side to this, like with this new beginning. You have done something in one way that have worked for you before, but now you're doing things in another way. We see it's mainly a blue-green color, but here the brown comes in, and it's very much like this card. So it's something more stable. You're not. It's this like this the craving is gone in some way. And also this Ace of Cups and Seven of Swords, there's maybe no love there, or people are lying about the love that they are feeling and they are not able to express it fully. And here we have pleasuredome, and it's actually forces of nature as well. So pleasuredome, I think, is for Ace of Cups, and Seven of Swords is the forces of nature, because it's two forces of nature arguing there. So pleasuredome, I will read this also for you. Okay. At long last, you have given yourself permission to accept and welcome the vibration of pleasure and fun. Give yourself a big pat on the back and go out in the world and have fun. Do something frivolously or light-hearted. Sit down and have a good belly laugh. It is your divine destiny and well-deserved, so put away the guilt and be free to enjoy. So the upside down Ace of Cups for many might be that you have forgotten to have a good time as well, or maybe you felt like your luck was very tightly connected to a certain person or a certain situation, and here you're supposed to learn to enjoy, at least like this, enjoy in yourself, like find a way to be happy with whatever you have, like whatever the cards on your hand is right now. And with the Seven of Swords, it's like this clean out, it's like this big blowout. I think it's what's happened there. It's like I said, it's experience that you needed to have. And even if not, it's not like the end game. And it might be very troublesome to be with a person that's lying or not knowing themselves enough to even know that they are lying. It can be very problematic, but it's like the storm is the storm. It's like this right now. You can't change that. If you have ever watched a thunderstorm, you will have seen that when it reaches its peak, the crack of thunder and electrical vibrations flow from heaven to earth in a momentary flow, reconnecting and energizing it from within. Then it passes, allowing a stillness to open up, letting us know all is calm and refreshed. Don't fight what cannot be controlled. Let it go. So we can see this is thunderstorm. The snake is sometimes a symbol also for a lightning. And we have the raven here that flies the sky. So it's very mythological here. It's you can get deeper knowledge straight to your subconscious through these symbols. Okay, so I will also take a card from the Oracle of Vision to see a little bit into your future. Okay. Well, you had the same card as maybe it was Well, it was some of the I read for yesterday again. Aquarius, Cancer, Scorpio, Aries. This is about you are in a place right now where you're just visiting. It's not going to be like your end game. You are here visiting and experiencing also this side of life, leaving the cage that might have been this ocean that you were used to be in. This mermaid, she is like visiting an air bubble underneath the sea, and it's this white dove again. So her prison might have been like the common life that she lived in the water. She wanted to experience something else, some kind of freedom, and that is also butterfly, so metamorphosis. She was going through a change because of this, but it's like she's just visiting there. So this is not, you're not going to run away forever or try this new thing forever. It's just one step that you need to have an experience so you can compare a little bit what it is that you actually want to have. Sometimes when we have something very close to us, we can get bored with it, but when it's gone, we might see why we should have appreciated it while it was still here. And now when she's breathing the air, she can also appreciate the water because now she knows the difference. So it's like it has some kind of contrast against each other, the water and the air. And this contrast I also see in the Seven of Swords. So I think you need whatever challenge you are going through because it's going to give you another perspective. Okay, so I hope this helped, and I want you to take really good care. And I will release the beginning of the November readings in the middle of October. So I hope that you will revisit me then and see the continuation on the Capricorn story. Okay, thank you for watching, and bye bye.